Hi and welcome to Wimborne Boxing Club's channel. I'm Dave, and if this is the first time that with me, I'd like to say welcome, and just to let you know that we will be posting boxing workouts, boxing virtual pads and boxing tutorials. So if you like the sound of that, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell next to it, you'll get notified every time we post a video. Right, let's jump into today's tutorial. So today we are looking at 3 ways that you can improve your backhand. So the backhand is the punch that we're always trying to set up. Sometimes we're a bit guilty of not throwing it enough, but if it's the one that we land correctly, it will do the most damage. So here are 3 ways I think you can improve your backhand. So we're going to start with point number 1. And if you watch any of my tutorial videos, I will bang on about this. If it's your first session in the gym and you're learning to punch for the first time, it's one of the very first few things I will mention. Now, it's rotation. The power in your punches doesn't come from the arm. We don't throw arm punches, or we shouldn't throw arm punches. The actual power comes from the legs and comes from the rotation. So let's have a look at your backhand. So what we don't want to see is this, okay? That's just an arm punch, all right? What we want to see is the pivoting from the floor, from the ankle, all the way through, and we turn through the shot. So what we see is we pivot on the back foot, it turns the knee, it turns the hip, which allows the shot then to come out nice and long. We have the most amount of power, boom, right at the end, at the snap. So let's have a look at the opposite shoulder. So when I throw that backhand, boom, you see my opposite shoulder is now almost pointing behind me. We lead hands up. What I'm not doing though is my head isn't rotating with my body. I need to look down, not over. I need to look down the punch to make sure I can still see my opponent. So point number 1 is when you throw in a backhand, make sure that we are rotating right through the shot. So it comes from the ankle, the knee, the hip, then that brings in the shoulder, the elbow and the wrist, and then the knuckles at the last second clench, and we make contact, and you'll be throwing a perfect backhand. Which leads on to point number 2 quite nicely. It's to relax when you throw in the shot, and to make sure that we keep the elbow locked in tight. So we stay nice and relaxed. What we don't want to do is be all stiff and tense and have a clenched fist here and then throw early. Because what that leads on to is generally this. Clenched fist is tiring anyway, so you're going to tire yourself out. Your breathing's going to be irregular. But the other thing that we're going to notice is as you throw that backhand, but your fist is already clenched, you're going to rotate very early, right here, because you really want to, you're angry, you're aggressive, you really want to throw that shot, but you're tense. And what's happened is you've rotated your fist too early, and that elbow's now popped up. That's a telegraph straight away to your opponent you're about to throw. It's also exposing your body, and on top of all that, it's going to lack power because it's more of a choppy shot. Okay, so we stay nice and relaxed, and then as we throw it, you'll see the elbow stays tight in. If I was to be against a wall and I threw my backhand, my elbow wouldn't hit that wall. It's a really good drill, that one. So it comes, and my hands, everything's nice and relaxed. We're nice and relaxed. Slow motion, it comes out. I rotate, we just talked about. And then just before we hit the target, we call it snapping onto the target. We clench that fist and we hit with the first 2 knuckles. All right, so we turn the hand over, make sure we turn the shot over. So we are connecting with the knuckle part of the glove. Where we relax, boom, and then back to relaxed again. You see that elbow? It stays nice and tight. Yeah, that will help you with speed. It will help you with the power at the end, and it will help you with not telegraphing your rear hand. And the very last point with the backhand and having more success with it is we might have the rotation. We might be nice and relaxed when we throw the shot, but we then overcommit to it and we put all the weight over the front foot, so it looks like this. Boom. You can now see, boom. I call it Supermaning, but your weight's over the front foot. Very little weight's over the back foot. We're leaning into the shot. This normally occurs if you're not in range. So if you haven't generally set yourself up with a jab and know your range, and you throw that backhand from out of range, we end up leaning forwards. Now this puts us in a very vulnerable position. So from here, we've overcommitted. So if we were to miss that shot, it's a good chance we'd be off balance and fall forwards. If we were even to catch the gloves of our opponent, we're still in a position where if we want to throw a second shot, we've almost got to bring ourselves back to the balanced position to let the second shot go, which is all timing, all takes time. Which means by the time we've done that, our opponent will have probably countered us. Or it leaves us really open to the uppercut. Boom, a little step back, making us miss, and then boom, we're there for the rear hand or the right hand uppercut. All right. Plus we lose power. So all those points will need to be looked at and addressed if you're making them. So let's go through them just one more time. Point 1, making sure we rotate with a punch all the way through. Point number 2, staying nice and relaxed, contracting hand at the last second and making sure that our elbow doesn't flare. And then point number 3, making sure we're in range so we don't fall forwards on the shot when we're throwing it. We're in range, we stay balanced, we throw the shot. I guess point 4 really is to make sure that we do bring the hand back to the chin, but that's technically not going to help us throw the backhand, but it's something that you need to be doing straight after you've thrown it from home to work, back home again. Cool, there are my 3, well I guess 3.5 points on how to improve your backhand. If you like that, make sure you hit the subscribe button, hit the bell next to it, and before you leave, make sure you catch these 2 videos here. Nice one, I'll see you on the other side.